And thousands of families are waiting to hear when they will be able to visit their elderly relatives in care homes. The government's promised a system of rapid testing in time for Christmas so that they can see their loved ones. Well, my next guest, Ylenia Angeli, was arrested by police after she tried to take her mum, Tina, out of her residential care home earlier this month. Ylenia and her daughter, Leandra, are with us now. As we look at these images, you can only begin to imagine how her mum must have felt surrounded by all that chaos, not knowing what was going on, lots of police cars, her daughter being arrested, taken out of the vehicle. You can see her daughter there in the back of the police car. Ylenia and Leandra are with us now. Ylenia, goodness me, talk to me about what happened.
Well, it was definitely not planned, this. The whole thing has been quite shocking and traumatic to us as a family. And we're aware that this is happening nationwide. We've had floods of requests and people contacting us in exactly the same boat. And also families who have younger members, like disabled youngsters in care homes who cannot be visited. So I'm just very pleased, really, that this has been, unfortunate and horrendous as it was. I'm very glad that this has come to public attention, that there's a catastrophic collateral damage being caused throughout the nation by these measures that are in place. It's simply just, you cannot separate families who care so much, from their loved ones.
Leandra, I'm sure that you supported your mum in trying to bring Grandma out of the care home, but do you in any way appreciate the position that the care home found itself in?
It's really interesting you ask that question. I think since this has happened, we've become quite clued up on the legalities of things. And what we've realised is that so many of our relatives are being incarcerated. And yes, the blame lies at the government, but it also blame is laid at the feet of the care home managers, because under the Mental Capacity Act, an individual is entitled to have freedom and to have all care put in their best interests. And also under the Mental Health Act, every single human being in the world is entitled to a family life. So currently, our loved ones are deteriorating. Some of them have died, not necessarily from COVID, they've just simply lost the will to live. So I think what we're now being aware of is that families are in a position to sue care homes for corporate manslaughter and for psychological abuse. So this is what we have realised over these last few weeks.
Ylenia, how did it happen? What happened? I'm guessing the care home must have called the police. The police came to the vehicle. Then what happened? And what were you saying to your mum at that time? Because, I mean, she's 97, isn't she?
Yes. I think it was badly managed by the staff member who was almost like lit a fuse to already, us as a family being very upset. We've gone in a very positive manner to visit because it was our last window visit until the next lockdown, which was due, it was imminent. So we'd gone with like a tray of cakes for the staff and gifts for my mother, and it was not planned, but I just saw my mother in her deteriorated state through the window, and I think it was the way that I was spoken to by the admin staff member. It wasn't even a carer. That it was just like a white hot silver rage came over me that, how dare we be spoken to like this? And I just wanted to hold my mother, which is exactly what I did once I gained entry, because she was literally feet away from us, from the front entrance. And I just desperately wanted just to put my arms around her and let her know that we were still here and we still loved her desperately. because I'm sure she feels abandoned. She must do on some scale.
And there have been 2 other instances that have come to attention to us in the last few days. A police officer who was visiting her mother in a care home, who stepped over the threshold to hug her mother. The patio doors are open, and her mother has been evicted from that care home because the daughter broke the rules. Now, that daughter was a police officer. And another lady who contacted us, whose daughter is disabled, she's in a care home. Her daughter has been restrained by 2 care assistants because her daughter is trying to hug her mother. And this has caused her mother to have a mental breakdown. She now has her own crisis team. So this is affecting not only the people in these care home settings, but the families too. So we are one of hundreds of thousands of families in this position.
And also, my mother has been, she's been served an eviction notice because I've actually stood my ground and refused to pay the fees. So she's actually due to leave the home on the 21st of this month. So she's had an eviction notice. I desperately want to take her home and care for her. And literally, we're having to jump through all these bureaucratic red hoops, tape, whatever you want to call them, in order to get her home. And it's just like delay, even though the services are trying on our behalf to get my mother home. There's still such a quagmire of doubt and misunderstanding, I think, along the line.
And I think what we have discovered as well is we've known that the care system, the social care system, hasn't really been fit for purpose for a long time. It really relies so heavily on family members to be there to care. And I think COVID has been a stress test to the system. And we have to look at actually radically changing the whole of the social care system because of what has been shown through this current crisis.
Apparently, the care home...
It must have been just so distressing for you. I can't even begin to imagine just how challenging it was, and to see Mum so distressed as well. Thank you for taking the time to join us this morning. Hopefully she will be able to come home. Tina will be able to come home in the next few days and be able to spend time with her family. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thank you.